How many hours do you have in CSGO, if you don't mind telling us?
6,800, I think.
Is it a lot compared to other pros, you reckon? Or?
No, I think it's like what the average have. I think I'm simplest the one with the most. It's like 10k. Unless you put Zeus, but he's idling like 50% of it, so I don't know.
I don't know, it's a hard question. Like 7k, I think?
7k?
Yeah, I think 7k and a half. I don't know.
And how about in the last 2 weeks as well?
Last 2 weeks, 85.
I'm not sure, but I think it's 7k or 8k. I think it's 7. Yeah, I think it's 7k. 7k hours.
If I remember correctly, it's like around like 6,500. Honestly, yeah, I don't know. I'm surprised.
I think it's gonna be more.
I thought it'd be more because I remember I looked at my source hours, and I think like in source I had like 5,500, something like that. So it's like I only have like 1,000 more than my source hours, and last time I played source was like 6 years ago. So
I think I have a little under 9,000 hours. Yeah.
It's quite a few hours.
I have 6,500 hours about right now. Yeah.
Would you say it's a lot compared to other pros, or kind of just average?
I think it's about average. There was a time where I was way far behind all the other pros, but I think I'm a little bit more average now.
Okay. And for example, when you're not at tournaments, because it's a bit hard to keep up the hours, but on an average 2 weeks where you're at home or at a boot camp, how many hours do you have in the past 2 weeks on Steam?
Usually I have about 70 to 80 hours. Yeah.
I think around 7k, like a little bit over 7k, I would say.
And how many hours do you play every 2 weeks?
It depends. It depends a lot, but now I try to play a lot.
I think 8,000? Yeah, I think it's 8,000.
Yeah. I'm just about to pass the 9k mark, so 9,000, yeah.
Not bad. And did you start playing from the beta?
Yeah, all the way from beginning. When it came out, basically, I was playing CSGO.
Yeah, so I have 15,700 hours, but I would say roughly 2,000 to 3,000 of those are idle. It's just, you know, when back in my matchmaking days, ESCA pugging days, I would just leave my game on. You know, I would like get off my computer, go eat or do something for a few hours, come back. You know, sometimes I would be up playing it so late, you know, that I would just like get so tired, not even be bothered to turn my CS off, lay in bed for 8 hours, 9 hours, you know, then wake up and it'd still be on. So
I think 2,000 or 3,000 hours idling is probably more than what most casual players have just when they're actually playing. But
or like overall or past 2 weeks? Oh yeah, I have 8,143, I think.
And how many years have you been playing CSGO for?
I've been playing CSGO since it came out.
I think on record about 10,000, but I'd say probably 8.5 to 9,000.
In total, I think I'm just about to reach 9,000, to be honest. I might be 8.5 or something. I'm at least over 8. So yeah, I've been playing since the beta came out.
Vintage Balkan Bears Rob 4 there from Betway. But that is back now. Well, it's back. We're back now, rather, as we are going to be sliding in more games to come, Ben. Obviously, into the second portion of our series between Space Soldiers and Big. The first map going tremendously in favour of Space Soldiers, all turned around by Major, who had a stomping performance.
Yeah, quite a surprising one, really. I kept on reiterating this notion that usually when an IGL is the player top fragging, you're most likely going to lose the game. But thankfully he did have some support, right? You know, Engine was getting kills when needed, Zantaras as well, Kali X when needed. Everybody was chiming in here and there. Whereas for Big, everything kind of collapsed very, very quickly. They used 3 pauses in that first half. They couldn't really get anything done out with the pauses. They were getting outplayed completely. And ultimately, it just doesn't look very good at all. But I'm hoping that that's a comparison, again, of the first series we saw. Against NIP, they started strong later on. This time they didn't even start at all, really. They started right at the start and then just fell flat very quickly. Like, you know, first hurdle, gone. They couldn't get back up, fully legs broken, done.
Cheers,
hopefully,
crying.
They've been back in the hospital and they've recovered now.
Yeah, like
Dust2 is coming up.
Dust2 is definitely a one in favour of Big as well. They've proved that in the past. It's a map that they feel very confident on. Confident. That's comfortable and confident. That's how good they are on Dust2, Ben.
Yeah, they are a strong team on it. It's always been one of their favourites. Especially if you think about the backs of the Major. They were playing it quite a lot. The issue is Space Soldiers aren't exactly unfamiliar with this map either. We saw them on Tuesday play FaZe. It was only 16-13, and traditionally you would consider Dust2 to be quite a heavy aim map. FaZe, a fantastic team when it comes to aimers. Getting 13 rounds off them, you're probably thinking, that's still pretty damn good. And now you're against them who, they're now in form, in theory, right? 16-6, you're going to be very confident. Big, on the other hand, the confidence is not going to be there. They'll be thinking, good, we've got another map, have we?
Yeah.
Right.
It is going to be a bit of a struggle. Let's have a look at the odds for this one. Last time around, it was massively favoured in Big, and it is still going to stay in Big's favour. But I suppose the only difference is this time around, it's more of a map that kind of should be in their favour. If this was the first series, well, if this was the first map we would witness between these two, I'd think, all right, then yeah, potentially that could be accurate. But after seeing them just get absolutely dismantled by Space Soldiers, it's a bit of a worrying one. I still feel like this could be a 2-0 if Big have a slow start here on the second map.
It's not even like they got into the game too late. Right? They started off so strong, it was what, 5-1?
They just got broke.
And then they just got destroyed. Like 5-1, then into a sequence which was 15-1 in Space Soldiers' favour. Like, it's hard to picture them recovering from it, but they have had, like, what, 15 minutes, I guess, between the end of that game and now. That's a pretty decent amount of time to recover, and you should be capable of recovering after that time. However, it's an online game, maybe the motivation, the drive sort of isn't the same there as you know, having God be physically there pumping you up.
Yeah.
Whereas online, it's sort of longer to have somebody saying motivational stuff over a headset to you. It might not go in the same.
Might not have the headsets on. Could have taken them off already, Ben.
Could have. Could be just going downstairs. He's just doing a whole speech.
Yeah.
Could have sat there eating KFC.
Eating KFC.
That's Smooya.
That is Smooya.
Yeah.
More McDonald's normally.
He does go for both.
Yeah. He switches it up.
Yeah.
Other brands of food are available, of course.
It's just that.
Those are his favourites. Yeah, the Butterfield. That is the diet he lives on.
By looks things, yeah, that's what we know.
That's how you keep that all
carefully.
I know. Has it done it again?
You've got one little bit of hair.
One small strand, just there.
Yeah.
Oh, he still stayed.
Yeah, I noticed it on the opening bit. I was like, okay.
How does it do that? My hair is it's a wild object. It does whatever it wants, Ben. Much like Smooya, it can do a lot of crazy things.
Yeah, and he'll need to do a lot of crazy things if they have a chance in this game. Like, he hasn't really been great in any of the maps we've seen today, if I'm honest. He hasn't popped off in any way. He's been very average.
It's been quite tame, yeah. I mean, not a terrible performance, but not anything show-stopping. Yeah. And we have seen show-stopping Smooya in a few games. So when you kind of hope you get that extra little oomph to come out from him, when it doesn't come through, they definitely do begin to struggle. And they need basically the entire squad to pop off now. If Tabson can have a nice game, Next can carry on, sort of show the form that we saw on Cash. Even though they lost that one, he was tremendous.
Yeah, that's the issue though, isn't it? Like, you expect from Smooya a strong performance.
Yeah.
Very often, I guess, is one way of putting it. But everybody knows he can play quite well, and he has, in terms of recent form, the past few months, he's been playing really well. However, the past 3 games, as I say, average, Tabson's been there when needed. Next, even on Cash, was really good. But now we're seeing nobody really show up. They're all kind of, falling back a bit. God B was the top fragger in that game for them. It's just not what you want to see. Cool.
Yeah, when it's coming down to the battle of the IGLs and it's God B sort of trying to help out and bail out the side of Big, whereas Major was absolutely just ripping them a new one and running around with sort of nearly a 30 bomb. There are 2 very big contrasting styles there, and it is a bit scary. And that's the other downside as well, is for Big, they've already played some games tonight. Obviously, this is now going into their 4th map in a row of CS. They haven't exactly had the best run of form, lost the majority of games. That can hit you mentally. And if they're a team that are now starting to slow down a little bit, they're having a few scrappy losses there. Obviously, the one big win on Train, but that's a little bit left in the past now.
Yeah, the main issue for me would be, it's quite mentally draining to play officials anyway.
Yeah.
Even worse if you played 3 in a row, lost 2 of them, and one of them was a very hard defeat. Going to the next map now against a team who, some teams do get quite annoyed when they play Space Soldiers online.
Yeah.
Because they start thinking they're onliners in some way, which I wouldn't say they are. But it's just that we see them online a lot is the only issue. We don't see that many events because either A, they don't get invited, or B, they don't qualify. But it's one of those things people start getting frustrated. And I imagine some of the big players are like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. It feels like they definitely can take a bit of a hit early on. But we're into this one. Space Soldiers as well now going to be starting off on the T side. Definitely their preferred half. They love having the AKs in their hands, setting the pace of the game. They're playing it quite interesting as well. They're going to take that long control. So I sell the idea of everyone sliding out, when in reality they're backing off and just leaving endgame.
Yeah, the main bit is that for Big, though, is that Smooya was at the car the whole time. So he knows, guaranteed there's nobody here. Tabson, with his really good advanced position as well, he'll know there's nothing here. Engen, though, he has grenades. So he could actually sell a decent fake here towards long, so long as he doesn't get instantly killed by Smooya. If Smooya gets the first kill in the first 5 seconds, it could be an issue. It's only one player's with B, but next he's going to dink instantly. This is not a good start for his B hold.
Oh, yeah, and he peeks out again as well as Zantares. It's an easy tap from the Glock to finish him off. So it does go into a 1 versus 4 in a matter of seconds, Ben. And the CT side have a huge opening pistol. They only lose next.
Yeah, so Big, they did win the first pistol last map. It is worth remembering that that did happen. They were able to get that decent lead from the start. However, they need to do more than just get the lead. They need to build from that, get further in the game, get you know, a footing as soon as possible. So you can see the full eco coming through from Space Soldiers. 3 MP9s and an MP7 bought on the side of Big. Smooya probably only get the 1 here, but the rest of them are charging up short, and it's into the M4, luckily. Means they won't be feeding too much money, although Nex is trying to get involved as soon as he can.
Ooh, Smooya wanted to cut off the rotate. Ben could have made an awful lot of money, but instead he finds 1 frag before Major will finish him off with the Glock. Major and Paz, the last 2 remaining terrorists as well, as they are onto the 2 versus 4. Just trying to reposition right now. Major with the MP9 in his hands. If we see the over-aggression from Tizian, it could potentially be another frag. And that could be the window of opportunity into B.
It depends on the timing, I think, doesn't it? Major not really looking towards it now. Nex was debating it towards mid then. Oh, you can see it now. Paz gets the first goal. And I imagine Major does get killed here in the back. However, it depends. There we go, easy kill. He was quite close to killing Nex, though.
Yeah.
Like, that was quite a scary situation for Nex to be in. But ultimately, it's as we expected. He'll go 2-0 after winning the pistol. Space Soldiers now get that 8k buyout. The question is, what are they going to do with them? There's some decent B spawns, but it looks like most of them are looking towards A. If you remember correctly, Zantares was quite a strong lurker against FaZe whenever they went towards the A side. God be going out a bit early there, I feel. They're fortunate that the Molotovs were in position right there. That nade's going to do a lot. 47 and 36 done to Major and Engen. Question is, will Zantares be able to get the drop off onto Smooya if he shoots a single bullet? Flash comes through, does dodge that, but he gets the kill for free. Really well played from Smooya.
Ooh. Goes for the early shot, tries to connect towards mid. Engen and Paz, the 2 together. Going to be deviating a little bit now as they begin to split up. The bomb carrier in Major will find his way down Suicide as well to link up with them. Ben, they've got a minute on the clock, but what can they even really do into this round? As Big have looked very strong with their defense currently on that CT size.
Yeah, they just got a lot of info at mid then as well. Tizian just peeked it after Smooya flashed. And that did allow him to check it. We saw this one-way smoke a lot on Tuesday. You can see the crouching right below it, seeing nobody at the crossover. Unless Nex did slightly peek into it, he saw a shoulder. Next suit has to come in. There is 2 players towards this site though. And unfortunately for them, looks like they've been dealt with. Tabson lands the second one. Just Paz left, he gets shot on the side of the head. So Big starting off strong again. Reminiscent of the first map. However, we saw how that one ended out. You need more than a 4-1 or 5-1 lead to take the actual map victory.
It just takes 1 round for Space Soldiers to wake up really as well. Saw that in the previous game where they were able to just come straight back into it headstrong, run their way through. Got B. Does don the AUG. Doesn't even need to fire a single shot from the rifle though. Instead it will be the double nade of him and Nex that blows Paz to high heaven.
Yeah, Space Soldiers essentially just, I wouldn't say giving up this round, but they're just relying on the Deagles. It's a very slim chance that they're able to make them work fully into the round. But you can see Kaliax. He will be peeking into Smooya's AWP if he does move up any further. And another kill for the AUG of God B, and Smooya's going a bit more aggressive here. This is quite bold. Especially as I think they're about to run boost. He misses the shot, and that's a really good kill. He grabs the AWP. He might be able to get some more in CT. Misses the shot. I mean, 2 kills for the Deagle investment in every player Space Soldiers. That's not too bad. And they did recover that AWP as well for Smooth to then take into this next round. And Major picks up an AWP on the T side. Doesn't go for head armor though. That's an interesting one for me. He could have gone for it, but he felt like he needed the smoke and flash. Smooth peeked at the top of the smoke very often when we saw them on Dust2 in the past.
So Major with the AWP there towards mid, assuming if he can get anything on the cross, doesn't really find too much, no damage done. But at the very least, it was a stalemate. No transfer of damage from either side. And that long setup as well. Looking like they are going to get ready to try and go for the burst out. Godby's playing on the close angle. Really trying his luck here, Ben. Just going to play from behind the door with the AUG.
That's a position he played a lot, if you remember, against... I can't remember which team it was, but on Dust2 he played behind the door a lot. And one of the issues he had was he had that silence from 4, which was 20 bullets, and he wasn't able to do much with it.
No, it's
now
not
he can AUG. However, the contact has been taken. Major gets that first kill towards it, and now Godby has to fight them off with the AUG. But he must have had no bullets. Just when we were complimenting having the 30 bullets.
He only had 2.
I guess so. And Zantara is a beautiful lurk there. Gets the kill on Smooth because he was boosted, but Nex trades it out. Kaliex is at mid, should get the V player, and they know where the last player is. Nex, rough situation, it's just an AWP. Both sides of him being pushed. A lot of grenades being used, but they're giving him a chance, I feel. They're giving him a lot of 1v1s.
They really are.
This is really unusual.
Absolutely horrible position to be in. But somehow he's making it work. If he pushes through the smoke, Ben.
It's 15 seconds.
Oh! I mean, if you find that frag on Major, you've got a 1v1 there. Paz was close. The AK probably would have won the firefight. Still ridiculous. And then you can visually see as well, Major using plus right, plus left.
With the human hand, you probably wouldn't be able to get that perfect
Well, it's not,
straight
it's not going to be a straight line.
Tactical balls from Big, so that's... I imagine the hole in defense towards long, perhaps, just then.
Probably just talking about how it went wrong.
Yeah, because Zantara's being able to get on site must have been a very confusing sight for them, because they were just like, how's that happened?
Yeah.
Because they boosted behind, like...
Well, they had no clue.
They were boosted at the 4 Kings boost.
Yeah.
And it was too late, though. Zantara's was already walking all the way along Catwalk, he was way gone. And they must have thought, well, short's clear, we covered it. When in fact, he was straight up there. He was up there like 20 seconds before they even did that.
He was already just waiting.
So you can see 2 AWPs right there, though. So that'll be, I imagine, Tabson on the other one. Because that is usually the second AWPer in this team. There it is. Smoothie and Tabson donning the AWPs.
And Tizian's been dropped to silence M4 as well from Godby.
Yeah, Godby takes the hit. Goes to the CZ himself.
I wonder if he asked him if he wanted the AUG there.
The radar makes it think that, you know, the bomb's been dropped in the long doors. But you know it's not.
No, it's been dropped slightly outside.
Yeah, it was just confused. I was like, did they just throw the bomb into the doors and just leave it there? It was very like, surely not.
The old bait.
Okay, so if you remember the Space Wars Games phase, they mollied behind this door really often.
Yeah.
They bounced it straight off the close door, hits the other one. If that wall wasn't how it is, that's a free kill, right?
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Zantara doesn't have a Molotov, so he can't really do what they had been doing in the past. It means he's limited to just essentially gunpowder, really. He does have a HG, but that's not going to kill somebody straight out. And now Godby playing behind the door again. That nade is beautiful. That's a really good kill. And they know he's behind the door. He always plays behind the door. And Zantara's is up again.
Even if you know he's there, though, it's still an awkward angle.
Yeah, you need to know everything else is clear at the other side.
Yeah. He's still going to get away with 1 kill at the very least. Smooyer as well, the headshot. Takes down Kaliex, and it does bring it back now into a 3 versus 2. Smooyer and Tizian. The last 2 players for the side of Big.
Look how fast this push is from Tizian there. He's already in the long doors. I mean, Major A is going to cover this. But the question is, how long is Tizian able to wait? He's flashed out, fully blind to Major, and Major misses. That's a really bad miss, but thankfully he's traded out. Just Smoothie left, no kit, no grenades. It's a bit of a big ask, to be honest. He is against 2 rifles there.
And the one thing he does have is confidence, but into this round he will be backing off and saving. Doesn't need to make a foolish play. The decision wouldn't be worth his time. And luckily enough, as he scurries away, he does find himself a free Molotov as well that he can bring through into the next round.
Very expensive, obviously, to find that as a CT. It's guaranteed $600 you can save. So Spatial is... So I mentioned it's all well and good getting that 4-0 lead, but apparently against Space Soldiers you need more than that. And you need to make sure you don't just fall out of rhythm, I guess, into the entire match. Which is what we're potentially looking at right now, if I'm honest, because Space Soldiers on that side that they prefer now. The AKs, they're able to run around. They've got 2 Mach 10s bought here as well.
2 Mach 10s, 2 AK and 1 AWP, yeah.
It might just be a straight B rush, but they're running into all of the pistols. This could be very, very bad for them.
Ooh.
A lot of angles.
Gets into the site, the Mach 10 gonna unload, but the pistols, Ben.
Bombs dropped as well.
They've just brutally ripped their way through everyone. This has not gone well at all. The peak came through in unison, the synergy was there, everything looked effective.
I like this, the boost over the wall.
Oh,
that did get seen by Zantares, but it's too late though. You can't get that flick shot out. I do like the idea of sending the Mach 10s in, but I can't help but feel like you don't send the AK with the bomb in. You let him hold the plat peak, the Mach 10s go in, and you support them from long range. You don't risk that bomb being lost.
Yeah.
You get a situation like this. And instead, Major's now, back against the wall. He's got a minute on the clock still. Tizian will be spotted.
It really just comes down to if they wanted to let him save at that point, because a minute on the clock, they could expand every angle, they could find everything, so he isn't going to get away with it. Does get killed. They can't save the AWP, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, they've already got 1 on Smooya. Big with the role reversal here. 5-2 now.
And Major picks up the AWP again. He's not been fantastic with it so far, if I'm honest. He's had a few misses. Look how aggressive Zantares is here, though. He's managed to just run all the way straight down. Oh, Smooya didn't see him. This is going to be a huge pick. That's a really quick trade, though. It's lucky that Nex was that close, really, because Zantares made a huge play.
Yeah, that was smart.
And look at Gobby, he's still behind the door.
Every time. He's done it with so many different guns as well.
If there was a way to Molotov that behind that door properly, that's rough. Not really much that could be done, Rangan, there. But Major, he's got no Kevlar with this AWP, is what I'm worried about. Kind of relying on Paz here to get some sort of influence, and he's actually going to get rid of the AKs. That's quite smart, considering he knows God B is the player towards long.
Still just trying to get rid of those guns.
So that is really well played from him. Although you can see Tizian on the map. He's got that full creep around towards T-spawn. He's cleared tunnels. It depends how quick is he going to... Yeah, he will spot Major at mid. And now it's just down to Paz. That's the bomb spotted for Big, too.
Paz fires off his first shot, but doesn't really connect with it. As he pushes out, Tizian will find the kill. That goes 6-2. And Big are just storming ahead now. Looking very clean, very effective in a lot of these rounds. The odds reflecting pretty accurately here what is actually going down on the server. Space Soldiers, they have no money either, Ben, so this could be a 7-2. At that point, you've got to wonder, when do Space Soldiers wake up? The T side is normally the preferred half. Right now, it isn't looking like that.
Yeah, I think they've got one more buy round before they actually take a tactical. But when you consider that scenario, means it would be 8-2 in favour of Big. And that's quite a deficit to consider your first tactical pause. Or let's put it the second, because they were talking about the buy before, weren't they?
Yeah.
So another round from Spaces where they just want to try and waste all the grenades they can from Big. Play it as slow as possible. And it looks like the short burst will be coming into effect rather soon. You see Tabson playing that Shoxy angle. So the run boost again, we've seen this a few times, a double run boost. I like the prospect of this, and they fail both of them. Tragic. Absolutely tragic. Nice day from Nex. Should be clean up city here. Should be 5-man, there we go. Nice and easy little ace with Nex right there. No real hassle.
Yeah, smooth play. Well calculated, 13 kills to his name as well. Top fragging in the server. And you can see why Space Soldiers are struggling as well, reflected in their kills. They just haven't really been able to get any frags, Ben. No one's really popping off, not having a huge game. No big high-octane moments. It's all just been pretty quiet.
They've actually missed the corner smoke, and I believe that was Antares who threw it. And that led to God B being able to just, he gets that nade kill, fine, that'll happen. But the AK kill after that, guaranteed you're not getting out. And it's just, going from bad to worse for them. Like, you gotta be thinking Major will be lucky to get this kill. Smooth grabs that, and he's still confident enough that he's not even fully pulled back. He's getting ready to just play again. Jumping on the boxes, I believe, to hold the same angle. So I think there's gonna be another run boost, or an attempt at it. Here we go.
Oof, almost.
Very close. If Smooth was a nade short, he would get the guaranteed kill onto Paz. Although the AWP will do just fine.
Santares, 1 flashbang, 1 versus 5. Makes it the 1v4. Survives with 66 HP. Going to bounce the flash out to push Whip it with the timing, but Next was not blind whatsoever. Was hidden behind the box from the flash, so was absolutely fine. Gets that kill. And it is now a 2-8 scoreline, and big.
This is where I'd take a tactical.
This is just wild, yeah. It seems like they do need to try and take a little bit of a step back, really.
Although the B-Rush might be called first, because it looks like they have something in mind here. Although there's not many grenades for this. So Major going towards top mid, it might be just a burst through mid doors to B. In fact, no, they're just going to commit to this. Put the Molotov out, Tizian's going to field there. They haven't even put it out. They've run through all the fire. Look how low they are. Here comes the nade. That should be guaranteed to stop the plant. He got the nade off earlier. Instead he gets the bomb down.
Yeah. Bomb is going to be planted, but Smooth still at least finds the kill. Has the Molotov as well. And his teammates arrive.
This could be a big play. He's the only one with armor on that T side. Flashing out. They know they need to make some kind of play. And the flash did really well. Major gets to go from mid as well. This is still winnable. B side's awkward to get into.
Zantares 1 versus 3. Flashbang goes in. No real chance. Couldn't get the headshot off. That will be a 9th round now picked up for Big. And these rounds just seem so easy for them. I mean, they built up so much cash as well because they've got such a tremendous lead. 11k there on Smooya, 12k on Tabs and Next. Tizzy on the 7. Got B on 11 as well. Still using his trusty AUG.
Yeah, he's not had much to do with this game, really, is he?
Not as much as what we saw with on Train. That was definitely the one where we actually saw the potential.
Yeah, that was the highlight reel, wasn't it? Major picking up the AWP again. And they're dedicating towards this long push. Godby gets that nade in, does decent damage. But Tabson, he's playing towards Car, and this is where this, the AWP could come into effect as well, for that angle towards Pit, if needed. So I think this is the first time Space Soldiers got long fully without losing a player. Other than, I think, the pistol round. And they've actually decided to switch up who was lurking as well. Kali X now doing it instead of Santares. Something needed to change. And that's not a good start, though. Kali X got that first kill, but he kind of went a bit careless. And now the long execute has to come through. There's 3 players already here. They've got no flashes. This is going to have to dry. This is going to completely dry.
Well, the smoke goes up. Zantares with a peek gets the tag on Next. But the nades will transfer damage back to him. Molotov going to go in as well. Next Tabson and Next just doubling down. And Major has to run away, Ben. But what he doesn't realise is there is a man in the rear, and his name is Troublesome Tizian. He will be able to find that headshot. That's a free secondary all picked up as well. You can drop that over. Tabson will save it for Smooya. They don't really need to save. They've got so much money, it does not matter. They can buy out until the end of the half here, even if they were losing these rounds.
It's just quite surprising that there's been no pause for me. Although it doesn't look like they've got much in their playbook. They've been resorting back to this usual long take. That hasn't been working. They then just decide, well, maybe if we go short. When you compare it to the game against FaZe, it looks like they had a lot more. But right now, they're not showing any of it.
It does seem quite reserved from Space Soldiers, almost as if they have kind of either run dry and they don't really know what to do, or if they are potentially saving a couple of things away here. It's sort of one of those blips.
It's a weird one for sure. But you just can't help but feel like Big are going to win this map. Like, just from how it looks right now, there's no sign of life, is there?
No, and especially when you compare it towards Inferno. Because the individual brilliance was such a big factor, and that just is not coming through. Tabs in the next, get a killer piece. Paz as well. eventually will be able to eliminate next, but Smooya just goes for the drive face up mid. Engin will get a dink and the Molotov out to try and force Tabson out of position, but even if he does, it feels like Tabson will probably find that frag with the AWP in the end. Push comes out towards the site. Got B with the AUG of all weapons.
It just feels like they've already accepted defeat in some way. I mean, a pause comes through now. Obviously a tactical from Space Soldiers, but this is far too late.
You've got 2 rounds left of the half, Ben.
Like, you're at best looking at an 11-4, which is still terrible on the side you normally would do well on. Just complete contrast. You know, we talked about momentum from the previous map. Non-existent, apparently, for both sides, whether it's positive or negative.
Yeah, apparently it just didn't affect them. Almost as if it's just a very distant memory now.
Yeah, which is very bizarre. Normally, some players feel that high after winning a game. Apparently not for any of these. They've just kind of gone into their own shells.
Well, Major's definitely come back down to earth. I mean, 5 kills now compared to the 25 frags he had before.
So they have actually gone for the buy here. The Xbox smoke coming through from Engin. This is a much faster play towards Xbox. That nade has done so much, though. That's outrageous. I think Nex is about getting ready to nade it as soon as he gets the info. He's got a nade ready if needed. So I'm looking for, if they start taking shot properly, this could be really bad. But Xantares, he gets the kill on Tizian. Little does he know that Smooya is actually pushed all the way towards spawn. And that's a big kill to find. B-split's probably coming called here. Smooya, little does he know, they've gone back towards upper. He'll see only one of the players going through mid door. The longer this run plays out, the later the bomb plant gets put down, the better it is for Big. As you can see, Smooya is charging through tunnels. He's ready to get involved in this round, but it might be too late. Oh, that was rough. That was very rough to watch.
Next and God B. Ooh, try and go for the push through. God B gets 1 kill. The AUG frag onto Major, and they can still retake this. If they carry on playing this level, they will be able to pick this one up, get themselves to 12-2 scoreline. Next, looking a little bit timid. God B goes in first, but Engin gets the flick up with the AK-47. However, Next could still save it, Ben. Pushes straight in, but he needs to find the frag now. Jumps on the bomb. He had the kit, and he's got it as well. 12-2. Off an incredible round there from Next on the retake. God B not getting a chance to use the AUG again, but at least the M4 was strong.
Tabson's managed to get a double-double. Double digits kills and assists.
Yeah.
From this game. Obviously that nade he threw at top mid did quite a lot for the overall, but Space Soldiers, they were in such a better position there. It was a 4v3. Heading into a post plant on B, and somehow they lose it still.
Does 10 count as double digits? Because technically, 0 is not a digit.
Well, it's double-double comes from basketball.
Yeah.
And basically anything 10 or more is a double-double if you have 2 of them. It's like, you know, you have a stat sheet.
Interesting.
Which would be points, rebounds, assists,
yeah,
blocks. And basically if you have double digits in any of those, as well as, you know, 2 categories, it'd be a double-double. So I say it sometimes when people have assists in the 10 region.
Yeah.
But it's very rare though. You could go for triple-double if you've got 10 plus deaths too.
Oof.
That's a hefty game.
Yeah,
that's a Neil M standard ESL Prem game.
Yeah, that's a long game.
Yeah.
I've had 20 kills, 20 assists, and 25 deaths.
Yeah, that's a solid one.
Oh, God B. Looking to just try and shut this half down.
Back over, but
oh no, but they've peeked straight into the mighty Smooth.
No real, oh my god. That's one move I guess you could make.
The Butterfield is wild, Ben.
You don't know what to expect. And then you're asking a bit much from him there, aren't you? 13-2. I just can't believe that those 2 maps, or this map and the previous one,
are in the same
series. Same teams as well. Because both teams have shown a different class of play in both games from both sides, right? Space Soldiers last game, phenomenal stuff. This game, terrible. Big, last game, pretty terrible. Now, phenomenal. It's so weird. Like, it's all well and good to think that the maps favoured them in different ways. But it's not even just, like, the map. It's, you know, the basics are not there. Like, the aim is not there. It's very odd.
It's true. I mean, individually, you can pop off, but they're not even being able to do that. And that is sort of one of the key standing points that Space Soldiers need. I mean, they are a good team, but they also need those players to be working. You know, the core trifecta in Paz and co, just not really bubbling to the top right now. Major, obviously, he was able to lend a helping hand before. That's not happening this time. And that's their stronger side as well. T side is normally where they're at their best. AK's in hand, you can set the tempo, set the pace. You're the ones pushing a site. Now they're going to be the ones getting pushed. The pushies.
And it's when they're not landing shots as well, which is probably the worst situation to be in. It's more often you see teams get run over on the CT side, I feel. Purely because you just can't get a buy-in, you're not able to set up properly. Whereas now, as you mentioned, Big on the offensive side will be able to run all over them. So Xantara's sad enough. Actually peeks mid. He dinks Tabson as well. So that that distance is no longer a one-shot kill, I believe. If you consider, they changed it a few patches ago. I can't remember how long ago it was, but they changed it. It's a very odd change to do. Oh no!
Oh,
I hate to see that.
Okay. Well, the kills are coming back through, but Nex is having a bit of a game, isn't he? Pops down, finds 2 frags. Nex still trying to keep it going, but left in the 1 versus 3.
And Major gets 3 kills to get them around back.
And Major was the one that got spotted outside of Long and should have died.
Yep. Very awkward. Very, very awkward. Stabson perhaps a bit shook from getting dinked. Like he knew he needed to land that 1 shot.
Yeah.
Otherwise he's probably dead. Rhubarb crumble, some would say.
Apple crumble at times.
Potentially.
Major kicks it off though, Ben, making some ruckus towards mid, but he's about to be hit by a snowstorm of T's.
He's done a lot of damage.
Bursting down. Yeah, I mean, he tags them, but he hasn't really fragged them. MP7 of Paz, they call it the moneymaker, as he will be able to annihilate the majority. Engen stills a kill as well, but that is the MP9 frag, so it doesn't really matter. A lot of the kills going the way of the SMG into that round.
So Major now donning the AWP again. I'm not too sure if he even got more than like a kill with it in that first half. I remember him getting 1.
So. Yeah.
But it's not started off great either.
I don't feel like it's necessary. It doesn't really seem like it's giving them an additional benefit.
It just seems weird that he would be willing to AWP on this map, but not Inferno most of the time.
Yeah.
Whereas Paz was the AWP on Inferno, and he's now got it on CT here. I understand some people are more comfortable on some maps to use certain guns in certain roles. But it's not like he's been in the wrong position for most of the kills, right? I mean, God be, he did whip out the Krieg.
He did, using it quite recklessly there, though.
Yeah, it was a bit... I mean, Tabson's using the AWP quite recklessly, but he's working with that fine.
He's a renegade reckless man. Smuya, headshot on towards Galiex, and... Wow. I mean, it's crumbling, Ben. Space Soldiers, you can win the pistol, but in this day and age, you don't get 3 rounds from it anymore that easily. And it starts to fall back in favour of Big, 14-4. They're just blowing them to pieces.
And you can see that in their buy, though. 3 Deagles, a FAMAS, an MP9. You've even got a smoke and a flash to play with as well. It's a pretty horrific buy, everything considered. And I imagine it'll just go worse from here onward. 4v5 already, thanks to the next game. That entry kill onto Engen towards Long. Although Major, getting that kill back, quite a big one considering there was no trade to be had. The players nearby, but nobody really felt like they needed to chase it down. And next, he should be able to get that kill, but he's kind of making it a bit more difficult than it should be.
Yeah, quite awkward as the push comes out as well. Tabson going to be able to find the frag on Major. Ben kills him with the AWP. 3 on 3. Smuya with a flick up, gets the headshot on Xantares. They're looking for that pick towards mid as well. And he does take down Galiex, and it is all up to Paz. And a 1 on 3 here. This is for match point, and match point has been claimed. Big, 15-4. All things considered, the first game into now, it is a role reversal of teams, a complete flip. And it's wild as well, because, I mean, if they win this, Ben, if they take it here, you look at the Bias Space Soldiers, most likely they will. That's a 16-4 scoreline. You split the series, you both walk away with 3 points. That's not too bad.
All things considered, it would just be both teams would acknowledge we probably played correctly for one map.
Yeah.
Right? And the map they did play correctly on, they both won. But you got to be thinking, where's the consistency? Like, where does that come into the equation, right?
I mean, that also means Big would have split both series today.
Yeah.
So they get 6 points out of the possible 12. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, you've kind of just gone neutral. You've had a Nutri bomb for the day.
The issue I'd have is that you took 3 points only from the NIP series.
Yeah, that's the one you want to try and get 6 from.
And that's that 16-4. A very one-sided affair. I mean, the odds did say that Big were the favourites.
Yes.
But I wouldn't have said in that fashion.
Not off the back of what we saw in Inferno either. It was hard to say that was going to be that one-sided. I mean, Space Soldiers, they look good. Going into that, though, they just seemed a little bit less impressive. Yeah, quite slow. No real confidence there. Major was buying the AWP, but not really doing too much with it. It seemed like it was more of just sort of a complacency, like someone needs to be picking this up, try and get this pick towards mid. But even the way he was playing mid just seemed a little bit weird, sort of going for faces that didn't really complement him. And that's against Tabzan and Smooya, that are two players that are very well versatile with the weapon. You know, they know what they're going to be able to bring to the table. Aggression was on display, whereas Major didn't really have the oomph to take it to them.
Like, I understand some IGLs feel like they need to force the issue, which is probably what he was doing there. He was hoping, if I get the entry kill, I start leading by example. Like he did on Inferno, I suppose, to an extent. It's just a bit of a bigger ass to do that facing mid and Dust2, right? That's an angle you don't win most of the time anyway.
Like, CT side Dust2 peaks down bottom mid towards T-spawn.
It's really hard.
They're really awkward to hit those shots. It's nowhere near as good. Still saw some interesting stuff coming out from Godby, so we got a couple of questions answered now about his usage with the change in the weapons to do with the Krieg and the Org. But that is that series wrapped up. A few little tidbits to look back on potentially in the future, and some questions have been answered, but they split the series. So Big, that is the end of their games for the day. They walk away with 6 points in total from both series. Space Soldiers grabbing themselves 3 points from this series today as well. There is more to come. Our last matchup of the night will be Astralis versus Fnatic. We will see you there.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, Vodafone, The Road to Odense, Betway, MSI, Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.